Disco is unquestionably the best pop record of 2020. Yes, it is. Doesn't matter what you say, you can turn off now. You can be offended. You can write that comment right now if you like. You're offended by what I've just said. Disco has it all. A response to the times that we live in, solid, uplifting pop tunes, cohesion, and importantly, it also doesn't have it all. No Nicki Minaj. No desperate new age sounds. And most importantly, Cameron, Kanye West was not invited to participate in this project at all.
That's excellent.
Promotion-wise, we started out very strong with Disco. The album cover appeared suddenly, deliberately, without explanation, causing the fans to buzz with the is it or isn't it factor. Then the lead single title was teased and fairly briskly given its first airing on UK radio. It then immediately dropped on all platforms for consumption, unlike previous ridiculous campaigns where we got to hear the song but then we couldn't buy it or couldn't listen to it ever again for a couple of weeks. And then a beautifully timed video landed just a few weeks later. We had a smattering of performances, an acoustic version, and a strong round of promotional interviews, which cleverly nodded towards the release of the full album. And then, of course, we had Magic, which dropped with a very fun bang, video and all. This was followed up by great little performances all over the place, including the UK and the United States. By the way, Kylie, hello, Australia, we're still here. We had the Infinite Disco, a clever way for Kylie to perform the album in the COVID world we unfortunately live in, and that was fantastic. I kind of wish it had been totally live. I finally arrived at my point, Cameron. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Because I haven't made one yet, have I?
Well.
These aren't the ramblings of an old man, are they?
Well, maybe a little bit.
Oh, well, you're quite used to that. Mm-hmm. Here's my point. For an album with wall-to-wall single choices, what the devil has happened here? It has been 3 months since the last single. Can you imagine that? It doesn't feel like it, right? 3 months.
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh, yeah, no, the time went by really quick as well, but yeah, no.
It has. It's been 3 months since that Magic video. I mean, is this 1994 all over again? Where is the single? We've had a few performances on chat shows for Real Groove, but this whole concept of performing singles that aren't really singles, that should be reserved for the tail end of campaigns, not the heart of them. So, dear Kylie and team, this is her best work since the early 2000s. We've waited 20 years for an album with such commercial potential. Please don't waste this moment. And if you do waste this moment, please don't blame COVID, the age of streaming, Donald Trump. Only blame yourselves. That's my say, and you're welcome to yours. What say you, Cameron? Am I old and crotchety?
Well, look, I agree. I think it would have been really nice if she recently released, a single.
Just while you talk, I'm going to have a sip of tea.
Oh,
just to add to the effect of the old man having a rant.
Okay.
I'm also sitting on a bus stop.
And an amazing video clip with one of the good songs that we all agreed that Miss a Thing or Real Groove would be really good picks. But yeah, she hasn't done it, and it has been ages. What was the last single again? It was
Magic.
Yeah,
there's only been 2.
Yeah.
So we also have David and Simon on the line. Give it to me. If I'm being a crotchety old man, David, you'd certainly be able to recognise it. Am I being?
Well, no, but okay, I'm in America, you're in Australia, and Simon's in Britain. Kylie's much bigger in those 2 countries. But I'm looking, and it shows that Real Groove was confirmed as the 3rd single on December 5th.
Yeah, well, what are we on now? December 22, 23?
21st here.
Give me a break, Kylie. I mean, and that's David confirmed on December 5 after Magic dropping in September. So, it took a long time even to confirm the single. This reminds me of 1994 when there was a single called Where Is the Feeling, and it was confirmed as the single. It never came. It was called Where Is the Single. It did come, sorry, but it took months and months. Mm-hmm. And back then, no internet, so you couldn't work out where the devil it was up to.
It is kind of wasteful of how good the album is, but I am giving her some benefit of the doubt because of the global situation, because of Christmas, like that.
Come on.
Well,
Christmas
no,
singles.
but she might not want to work. It's Christmas.
Work.
Mm.
Everyone else, you're off. Why can't she be?
Excuse me, I worked up until 1 hour ago. This lady has got the album of the decade on her hands.
Yeah.
She goes to all the bother of releasing it, and you're telling me that now she should rest on her laurels and wait till New Year? What happened between September and December? Was she Christmas shopping, Simon?
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
sometimes amateurs know best, and a lack of professionalism is all you'll hear on the Time to Talk show. Join Tim and his panel of guests as they wade their way through a range of news, music, and pop culture treats. Time to Talk, the show hosted by amateurs for unprofessional listeners. Amateurs, is this the best that they could do?
So I will also say that I'm a bit annoyed about this New Year's Eve thing. Infinite Disco was great, really, really great, and not only has she not put it out for you to like buy or anything so that people can rewatch it, she's just gonna make you rewatch it on New Year's Eve. When, to be honest, people are going to want to do Zoom calls and other stuff, and Zoom's probably going to go down at 11:55. But I just think it's a bit odd to have such a great album and for your New Year's Eve special to us. I mean, we don't know it's going to be exactly the same. It could be that
yes, we do.
She might have recorded. She'll definitely have recorded a thing to happen at midnight, I would have thought. But I imagine it's probably going to be exactly the same. So yeah, it does feel a little lazy. It's not like the first two videos were impacted by COVID. So and if she's in the UK, the restrictions haven't changed. We were in lockdown for a month, but you could still work.
And this Infinite Disco is, I thought it was an awesome idea, and I don't begrudge the cost at all, but it wasn't cheap to tune into that and to stream it. It really wasn't. I think it's around 35 Australian dollars.
Yeah.
So not cheap at all. So to actually rerun it is, I don't know. Here's the thing, like with Kylie and her team, I love her to bits. However, I have gone on record twice before of talking about how Kylie does and her team gouge the fans. How does she get a number one album every single time in the first week? Mm-hmm. She has 16 different versions of it. And a lot of Kylie's fans are very vulnerable sectors of the community. And as someone who works in that sector, I can't help it. I'm not having a complete go, and it's going to sound way over the top, but I'm just saying, I see the photos of these poor people on Facebook, these delightful people who love Kylie. They've got the cardboard cutouts. They've got rooms dedicated as shrines, and she knows that. So to go and put 16 different coloured versions of your album out, it's a cash grab, and I don't like it. I think Kylie's better than that. She's so classy.
No class to that, is there?
Not really.
She's normally she's classy in everything she does.
If you were her team, though, you'd be crazy not to do it, because you need a number one. It's a cycle. Once you get a number one, people think you're still successful despite the age and the
economics above social. Yeah, really.
I find that with her promotion, it often does target right in on the most devout of her fans. And quite frankly, a lot of Kylie's, unlike Madonna's fan group, a lot of Kylie's fan group are quite vulnerable people.
Yeah.
And I wish she wouldn't do it. I really do wish she wouldn't do it. So that's why Infinite Disco feels a little bit like there's some of these fans, I guarantee you, Megs, they paid £35 or whatever it was last time to go and watch that. They're going to pay it again because they feel they need to, because they're Kylie's followers.
Yes, they'd feel disloyal if they didn't.
And they don't know how to use the Pirate Bay like me. So, yeah. I just find that a little bit sad.
I think that Kylie I think it would have been a good idea to maybe do a 21 release, spring or summer, get through COVID, and then she could have done bombastic videos and, maybe a live thing or two, if safe. So that's my only thing is I felt like it was a little too rushed. As great of an album as it is, I think she could have done a 21 release, get through all this crap,
Yeah, I see your point, but how do you know how long it's going to go on for, really?
That's true too. That's true too.
And if you look at what happened with Golden, and to be honest, I mean, if you look at what happened over the past 20 years, I wouldn't necessarily say that even having the resources and being able to go out and do those things has necessarily resulted in good work.
Well, you're absolutely right, Simon. Some of Kylie's best work was recorded in the shortest space of time. Fever was a very quick turnaround.
Yeah, that's true.
The PWL albums were all incredibly quick. The Kylie album, the first one, was recorded in 2 weeks. Well, her vocals were recorded in 2 weeks.
Older artists like Kylie need to understand that social media is now where it's at with spreading music trends and all of that sort of stuff. And I really think she should try and inject herself into like TikTok and things much better.
Oh, we don't want to work in for the Chinese.
No, I don't care. Do you realize how many likes and how much attention it all gets on that app? It would be very easy. She could just dance. She could make a dance. So what happens on TikTok is you make a dance and then people copy it and it goes around.
Wouldn't she look a bit tragic on TikTok though?
No,
at her age?
because she's amazing and she's got amazing music to sell. That's my point. Like she's actually got something incredible, but young people my age don't know about it. They seriously don't.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I take your point. So TikTok is a platform. She's on it, by the way, but she's not using it particularly.
Yeah, she's on it a little bit. She needs to take it to them.
All right, let's try to bring it home in a positive fashion here. I would love you to put your thinking caps on and come up with some ideas for promotion, because maybe Kylie's sitting there going, now listen, Tim, I'm listening to you. She's probably talking right out loud, right? Because she's on her own in one of those big plush lounges she has in those beautiful houses she lives in. She's going, oh, Tim, I wish you were here because I'd love to tell you, look, I'm trying. It's just hard. I can't really think of what to do in lockdown like this. Oh, I've got some ideas.
Well, she'd be happy with me because I just gave her
You gave her one idea, and I've got one for her too. Sort of returning to one I talked before. Kylie did a live listening party on Facebook when Disco was first released. And it was great, like interacting with fans. She had a bit of a dance and a bit of a chat and took us through every song on the album. It was great. I would like her to find a rundown venue in the UK that's completely empty, and it used to be a disco hall. Do it up, bit tizzy, as they say on Kath and Kim, and have a live streaming event from there. Not like Infinite Disco, but live. And everyone can tune in on their cameras. And to be safe so that nobody does anything explosively bad, producers are there watching the cameras and they cut to different people all around the world who are all tuned in at the same time. Let's feel the love. Let's sing Mary Mary or whatever that song is all together.
Yeah, that would be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be awesome. See Kylie, she's got a finger on her chin. I can see her. She's going,
Well, Tim, would a banger of a video for Real Groove put you in a better mood?
Oh, wouldn't it? Why? Are you reading something or something?
Well, no, I think that's what Kylie needs to do. Say something and
Magic.
Yes, Magic were both good videos, but Real Groove is one of the best songs on the album. So come on, wow us with something. And you can be creative in these COVID times and yeah, she's got that creativity still in her. Come on, give us a kick-ass video for Real Groove.
Or, and this is not something I particularly like, but it might appeal to you young folk, Megs. She could do Real Groove with someone like Dua Lipa. So she got the album version, get some featured artists, pull a bit of a Madonna here, by the way, and then do the video with that person. And like you say, David, a kick-ass video. Like, it's just waiting for it.
And a story in the video, which we often talk about, a really good story and good dance choreography for that song, I think, as well. Which you could then, you take that little bit of dance choreography that's the best from the chorus and put it on TikTok, seriously.
So she needs a spinning around moment. She needs a move.
Yes. Yeah. She needs a few moves strung together that are really satisfying. It's just so easy.
Kylie's actually just calling William Baker right now to make sure he's recording this podcast. She didn't have a notepad next to her. She didn't get all the ideas. So just listen back, Kylie.
Yes.
And Simon, any other good ideas for Kylie there?
I always have issues with the way she does promotion and the way she, and what singles she releases in her videos, and what section of her fan base she decides to pander to. I always have issues with things like that anyway, so I could talk about it for 3 years. But genuinely just think that she could be wasting the best opportunity she's had in, half
20 years.
Yeah.
Singles. For me, I said in the original podcast when we first listened to it, only twice in, and I said to you, Megs, I think it was, and David, who was on the line, this needs at least 5 singles. That's what I said.
Well, there's every song on it is amazing.
Fine Wine, even the deluxe.
Fine Wine.
The deluxe songs could even be singles. It doesn't matter which ones. Frankly, they're all good. 5 singles,
absolutely. And for me, I think the album's called Disco. In my opinion, you guys don't have to agree with me, but I think "Miss a Thing" is the most disco song on the album. So
my favorite.
Yeah, isn't it great, Meg? So come on. I mean, if she does release "Miss a Thing," again, it's all about the promoting of yourself and a good video, and what you could do with "Miss a Thing." Holy crap.
I know. It's the best song on the album, in my opinion. And it should have been single 3.
Or 2. Yeah, I mean.
And look, and she's rich and famous. I just think she could do what she wants. She can have her face seen with whoever she wants. She should get like Addison Rae, who's got like 100 million or something like followers on TikTok. Like, imagine if she was just in one thing with her. People saw her. Then who's Kylie? And then they, she just needs to do that.
Well, she did. She did Dua Lipa's concert, didn't she? I think probably in an effort to try and do that and to try and connect.
That was a good idea
with a slightly younger audience. But the performance was shit. So this is the problem. It's like, well. So she's done all this amazing work for disco, and then she goes on to Dua Lipa's show, and it was all right, but it wasn't the kind of incredible, spectacle that I thought it was going to be. And
100%.
And there's been nothing else come from that. And we've been waiting for another single for ages and another video. And also because she could have recorded, and I thought she'd recorded all the videos at the same time. So I thought, when she did Wow and In Your Arms, and she recorded them both in the same day.
Or back to back,
Yeah. I thought that she was going to do that with this. So I thought that she was going to have recorded Magic and Real Groove next to each other so that she could release them both if there was another pandemic, lockdown or anything.
I'm glad she didn't do that, though, Simon, because whenever Kylie does that, the originality of those videos goes right out the door. I know that other people are going to shout me down for that. Wow and In My Arms, some people absolutely love those videos. To me, they seem...
I like In My Arms, I don't like Wow.
Yeah, well, lucky you're not epileptic, right? You'd be in big trouble watching that. I tell you. It should come with a warning label. But look, it sounds to me like I thought I was going to be howled down, and I probably still will be. What's the name of that angry man on YouTube? We shouldn't really name and shame him. But anyway, there's an angry man stalking us on YouTube at the moment. I'm sure he'll have something to say about this.
Yeah.
I love negative comments. That they turn me on.
Oh dear.
But I was going to say, Tim, I love your warehouse idea. I hope somebody in Kylie's camp is listening, because I thought that was brilliant.
Well, even the GAY club, right? Because she's synonymous with that. It would be empty, I'm assuming, at the moment. It would be shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Go in there and homage and such a beautiful tribute. Despite the lockdown, despite everything that's going on, she's going to still honour that venue because it's got such a history and such a connection to her career too, as well as
the current one doesn't, because they moved it, because the old one's been knocked out.
Oh, yes. Yeah, look, I'm absolutely flogging a dead horse here, but she went to so much effort. She made a great album and she did promote it. You talk about she needs a rest. Well, maybe she should have paced herself a bit then. She was over in the United States on the Stephen Colbert show. She's been on like that big man, James, whatever his name is, the one that does the karaoke thing.
Graham Norton.
She's been all over the place and doing great promotion. Then it just stops in its tracks. What's wrong? Maybe she's holidaying with Bruno Mars or something.
I think... And I said this at the time, and I don't mean to offend anyone, but I did wonder if the fact that it was a really, really good album and the best album she's done, I think, since Impossible Princess, was a fluke. And the fact that she's doing such strange promotion for it, I do wonder if maybe it was a fluke. That maybe...
Okay, I'll give you the counter of that. Let's say you're right for a second. Fever, it was a great album, but she never expected the success in the United States. But you can still adapt, and you can still capitalize, and you can still get on the bandwagon. So now she's got a hit on her hands. If that's the argument that she maybe didn't plan that this was going to be as big as it's proved to be, well, she's a superstar of 30 plus years. She knows how to get on a wave.
I don't believe she's known how to capitalize on that for a long time. I still think that there's a part of her that is so scarred from what happened with Impossible Princess that she's so afraid to be that person again. And I think she managed to get it with Fever, but I don't think she's ever done it since.
But I think if she were to make a music video in the States and do some, I mean, I don't know if she were to go to...
Well, she did All the Lovers in the middle of LA.
Right, yes.
Big human naked pyramid. In fact, that still didn't get the attention of you people.
That's true.
Because the song was crap.
No, stop it.
Oh, goodness, Simon, get out. In fact, it wasn't my favourite either, but it's certainly a fan favourite. So just really quickly, David, why do you think it is? Have you been able to nail why Kylie is big in every territory around the world except in the United States? What's that about?
I think it's because Madonna is from the States, and
really,
there's not enough room. I mean, I don't know. I will say it was amazing back in 2001 and 2 when she was big here and people were finally paying attention. I don't know. I can't answer that question. I wish I could.
Fair enough. People have often said it's her sound. It just doesn't. It's much more Euro than it is United States. Well, certainly with her first 3 albums, that was very British pop. Yeah. And Simon, your final word on this, besides the fact that All the Lovers is crap and you've lost half the audience right now.
I just agree with what everybody said, really, and I just would really like her to capitalize on a great record because she's not made one in so long. Just do something, Kylie. Don't just sit at home wrapping your Christmas presents. Actually do something.
Exactly. Well, there you have it. What do our listeners think? Please do leave a comment, especially if you're a very devout Kylie fan. They're a very different breed from Madonna fans. They'll be quite offended by this, Megs. But Kylie, if you do happen to be listening, just remember, you're the one who said it first. It's never too late.
Still got time.